Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it's Tuesday. It's February 20th. This will be our chart lesson for today. And real quick, look at our daily chart as usual, and you can see we had the big down day today, but we did bounce like usual and took a large portion of it back. So we'll probably make a higher low and may go higher again. The only difference I would say this time is we did make a lower high here versus here, so we could get at least a measured leg down, you would think, but this market's been really strong and it's been hard to hold back. But if we were to get a measured move, we're looking at somewhere down here. So we'll see if we get any follow through buying. Um, just not sure what'll happen. This market's, I mean, if you're going to err, you tend to err to the upside because it just keeps going higher. So we'll see. Uh, but it did follow the usual MO. Even though we sold off pretty strongly, it took a large, a big portion of it back by the end of the close, which you'll see that. I mean, you can see it here, but you'll see further proof of it when we go to the 2000 tick chart. But let's flip over there now and take a look and go through the trades, and we'll wrap this day up. All right, here's our 2000 tick chart, and you can see we had what I call a spike down and a spiking channel. We spiked down real hard, and then we fold over into this channel. And you can see the channels in play. We never really got it confirmed. We just got a break there, but we moved to a new low, and then we um, went sideways for a bit before we rallied, and then all of a sudden there was another sell-off, and then we rallied again into the close. So no surprise there. Um, the one thing I will say we didn't do was here's the close from um, Friday, and here's where we opened today. Or no, that's actually where we opened yesterday. Here's where we opened today, and we didn't feel that gap. We really didn't even get back to the original open, so that leads me to think that gives you a little bearish slant as well. But again, I mean they've had a hard time selling this market off, so will that change anything? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. So anyway, let's zoom in here. We'll go through the trades. There's not a lot of them today, even though it's a really strong trend. Um, let's zoom in here and go through them and wrap this day up. 7 o'clock came. Right in here as we're kind of making this turn and coming back up. And we do make a lower high that breaks higher and fails and turns down. I don't know if I'd wait till this closes. I think you just do have enough room if you trade the engulfing bar. So I like entering on the engulfing bar. I made it green for that reason because once it closes, there's really not room to scalp out when we bounced here a few times. So I liked entering on the engulfing bar. Um, and you can see we ended up making two legs there and then tried to make another leg up. You might have looked at this as a triple test, but the signal bar is not good enough, so it doesn't matter anyway. I don't think you want to buy here. Um, it's a possibility you could buy on that second entry. It's hard to flip from short back to long like that. Um, and we are making lower highs and lower lows still here. So for that reason, I'm a little hesitant to buy there. Um, you might argue that it's green if you bought it, and argue, and said, yeah, I know it's aggressive. But I bought it anyway. I wouldn't argue with you on that point. But and you can see we turned back down. We got another two legs down here and another second entry long. But again, I just wasn't crazy about buying this yet. There is a higher low here, and I didn't mark this one, but if there's enough room to scalp out, which there's not, I mean, you could still argue for that to be green on a higher low. I don't think I would trade it on the engulfing bar, but maybe you still take that. But we run up here, and suddenly you get this lower high right here. Plenty of room back to the EMA. It actually breaks higher and fails. Again, I don't think you really want to take that on an engulfing bar. I think you wait till it closes, and it closes back inside the range. So you're just playing the range there on a failed breakout in the lower high. And then you get yet another lower high here, and now you've tested and confirmed that trend line. So I really like taking that one. And you can see the smart traders get in now, and the thing just, the bottom fall. If you catch this one trade, it's probably all you needed today. Really nice move there. And then we just start working sideways. Notice that we got this real steep trend. You get a break, and finally you make a new low and you bounce. And it does bounce off the lower end, further confirming this trend. You don't get a good enough, I wouldn't try to go long there anyway, but you don't get a good enough signal bar either way. And then it runs up and you get a 1, 2, 3 triple test with a big bearish bar that actually traded outside the channel for a moment. I like going short there. It's close to the center line, but we've been running from high to low, and the trend is more, we're bearish here, so you want to lean to the short side regardless of what happens. Here's a good example. You do get a close inside. It's a fairly bullish bar, but if you'd have taken it, you'd have got burned. So I mean, by now it's pretty obvious the bias is to the downside. And then this is just congestion. No way to enter that. I wouldn't enter that. I wouldn't enter that on the engulfing bar because we hadn't closed lower than that after multiple bars. By the time it closes down here, it's too close to the measured move. This line is a perfect measured move based on the high and low of the range, and you can see that's where we had traded to. Till we broke lower momentarily, kind of got back inside, ended up breaking lower again. Unfortunately, there's no entry over here either. You got this trend working up, and that's the first close outside. We did try to go higher twice, but it's too congested. Then we run up, and then we turn back down. There's no entries there. You don't want to be looking for a long yet. Comes back. It looks like we may get a setup up here, but we don't. You get a close outside, move to a new high, and then it starts down again. Unfortunately, I don't see any entries here. There's a triple test here. That bar is close, but that's a perfect doji. If you look at it, it's 6 ticks, so it's kind of a low risk. So maybe you take that. Maybe we give that a green. I mean, it's so tempting to. I mean, if it'd been 1 or 2 ticks lower, I'd say take it. But it gives me a little concern with it being a perfect doji because that does make that congestion. So, but it turns out to be a good move. Of course, you won't know that in advance, so that's the problem. Then you start working sideways. You get a little failed breakout and a lower high that breaks higher and fails and turns down. You could trade that on the engulfing bar. You're looking for a retest of the low here anyway. This looks like a two-legged correction, so that could be the center of the pattern, and you did get a measured move. So I think you got to treat this like a new trend. Rather, you've already had a break in a new low here, so this feels like a separate trend, and so you're still looking for a retest of that low. I think you can enter that on the engulfing bar. If you wait till it closes, I'm not so crazy about it, but still room to the lows either way. So maybe you take it either way. And there's a lower high here, but it's just an inside bar. Again, it's 6 ticks, so it's not, but we're still in this range at this point. And you just really don't want to go short right there, right? Because we bounced. Look how many times we bounced. So you just can't go short. So you just really have to skip it. And if you didn't enter here, and even if you entered here, you may or may not have got a runner. But if you caught a runner here, it's another great move. We run down, we get a close outside, a bounce, and this is basically a double bottom. So this is a first entry, second entry, and notice you do have a little trend with a close outside and new high. I like that one. Turns out to be a really good move. So you could have got multiple points out of that on a runner probably. And then it bounces early here, and then we're just working sideways. So you do have your close and a good move to a new low. So we could reverse here, but it just starts working sideways. I notice we do get a failed break outside here. Actually, that turns out to be the high, but originally the highs, there's highs right across here, which you can clearly see. And you get a failed breakout side up, but I'd want a lower high here, and you just don't get it. Then we're bouncing over here, but I don't see any setups I really like to go long again. Then we get another failed breakout, but this time we get a lower high. I like that one. It takes it a minute, but it drops on down, comes back, and now we're making lower highs or higher lows and higher highs. So I'd be real careful. I don't like going long right here, even though there's room to get out. Maybe if you entered it on the engulfing bar, which you could, but by the time this closes, it has too much stem. So if you entered that on the engulfing bar, maybe you take that. But it runs on up. I don't see any reason to go long in here yet. I don't see a good setup, and then we're just working sideways again. Now we did have a triple test right here. 1, 2, 3. Good bullish signal bar. I like going long there, but then you get a triple top test at the top, and you do have a close outside here. Although it doesn't make a new high, I still think you can take that triple test, and that thing just takes off. Now you wouldn't want to enter any new trades after 2:30, but if you're in this trade and it's just dropping like that, by all means don't exit. Just get you a start trailing your stop or whatever. And so, maybe you lock in some profit down here. Maybe you start doing it above each bar at some point because we're getting so far away from the EMA. Or maybe you just wait till you get the first swing high and then bring it down to right there. And you would have got stopped out when it came back. But when it's getting this strong and you're that far away, I kind of like just keeping it above each bar as it goes. And that way you get almost all of this move here. You would have got stopped out here instead of up here. And that's if you can get that much of that move, that's 12.5 points. So that would be a great move. And of course that took us into 2:30. So there it is. Fairly bearish day, although most of your movement came in a couple of quick moves and the rest of it's just mixed sideways trading again. So you don't get a lot of opportunities to enter. You have to take the ones it gives you. So there's still plenty of trades here today to have a nice day. But there it is. Not much else I can say about it. I hope you enjoyed the short day. And here's a good example of why you don't try to trade this day. If you try to trade that, you just get stuck in it, and then the market closes and you take a loss, or you're lucky if you don't take a loss. So don't try to trade this stuff. When you get these days where the market closes at noon, just take the day off. It's not worth fiddling with. So anyway, there it is. I'm going to wrap it up. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow. I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.